Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Horror 421, the podcast, with your hosts, special effects makeup artist supreme, Elena Morales, and your friendly small-town horror author, Charles Campbell. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the frights in this week's episode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Horror 421, the podcast. I'm your host, Charles Campbell, small town horror author. And with me, as always, is my beautiful and talented co-host, Elena Morales. Say hello, Elena, and please introduce the gentleman beside you so we don't forget him again.
We forget him every time. Hello, I'm Elena, and this is my fiance, actually, now.
Finally.
About fucking time. This is Dustin.
Hello.
Hello, Dustin. And today we have some very special guys with us. They're part of a band called Yosemite In Black. And I've done a little research and watched some YouTube videos on you guys. So I want to say welcome to the podcast. I know Cody from his working with Elena at the Haunt, but I'm just now meeting Luke, Dylan, and Michael. Is it Michael? Is that right? Yep. And welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you so much for having us. It's such an honor.
Well, we're more than happy to have you.
Artists supporting artists all day long.
Always.
Yes.
Always. So, like I said, I know Cody a little bit from the Haunt, but and I know Elena knows you guys a little better than I do. But I did do a little research on YouTube and watch some of your stuff, and you guys are pretty amazing. You have a great sound, and it's very unique. In one of the videos that really jumped out at me, and then we can just get into a conversation, but I want to bring this video up because it kind of touched me a little bit today because of the storytelling element was Parasite. I want to know how that video, how
I was going to say, that's a throwback.
Yeah, but it told a great story, and there was a heavy horror element in there. So how did you guys come up with that track, and what led you into that video? That's the first question, then we'll go off from there.
Okay. So the general, like, the lyricism was just kind of like pure, just like, I'm mad at somebody, so I'm gonna just write a song. I mean, like, there's not really much to tell about that song. But music video wise, like they said, we actually filmed it at, was it Chaos? Yeah, Chaos Haunted House. Yeah, the old building.
Is that the one in Carrollton?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yeah,
man, it was something. Well, the production
was
values
it
on that
gnarly?
video, they were on point.
That was shot by Jesse Holtzclaw from Downright Dirty Studios, and they did a really, really good job on that. They also did the video for Stinger. They did that one as well for us. They're really talented dudes.
And we got to drown Luke at the end, which was awesome.
Yeah, I noted that. But yeah, it looked like a setup for a great horror movie to me. All the elements were there, and all you guys did a great job. You had me convinced, and out of the videos I watched, that was my favorite. I was going to bring up Stinger a little later, but I'm going to stop rambling for a minute because I'm sure Elena has a question or two to shoot out there. I have a list of my own, but I'm not going to overtake the podcast.
I actually have a story about coming back to that haunted house because we forgot a cooler that we had there. Because we filled up like a bunch of different containers with water. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the Parasite video.
I can see this happening. Oh my gosh.
I forgot. So there was no running water at this place, and we needed to fill a bathtub up, but the bathtub was in the bottom of a creepy basement, and the only water supply was like 2 miles down the road at a gas station. Yeah, we weren't supposed to get water at. So we had to take like jugs and bottles of empty bottles there and fill them up with their spigot outside, and then go there, run downstairs, fill it up.
With Cody in the back.
Yeah, I was in the back of the truck holding everything steady.
Oh
so
shit!
Spill over because they were going to if I was in back there.
Yeah, so it was like a long walk to this creepy basement to fill up a bathtub, and we did it like 3 times. But we ended up leaving this really awesome cooler I just bought in the basement of that place. And so Cody has a cool story about that.
Okay.
At that point.
So we realized that we left it, And the next day, Dylan had work. So the only time I could really go there and get it when the owner was still there was during the day. So I went back there. The owner gave me the key. I met up with him, and I was in there like alone with no power. It was like this building should have been condemned. I'm not kidding you. Like, so
well, like, isn't it still there? It just looks whole ass dilapidated. And
oh,
shit.
it is literally,
it's rough.
It is a fire hazard. It is.
Charles, if you're ever on this end of town, like, we'll have to take you by it because you'll understand.
Yes.
Like, it makes the story so much better.
You guys should have seen the electrics, how they were set up. It was literally.
Anyways, back to the cooler.
Yes. Anyway, back to the cooler. I went downstairs and it was completely pitch black dark. I had to have my phone light on. I kept hearing noises echo like from like all the way like across on the other side. Like could have been rats, could have been anything, but I was terrified. And I literally like I felt like I was living out like a Silent Hill game or something. Like it was terrifying. But I did retrieve it and I booked it back outside.
I'd have been like, dude, your cooler's missing. I don't know what happened to it. Someone must have stolen it.
You know what I legit have to do in situations like that? And when I'm scared, I actually picture my mom being there because I make fun of it. Like, it's funny. She goes, oh, God, it's Doc. Like, that's all I can do in my head whenever I'm in situations like that.
Wow.
So, Cody, I know that I've known you for, like, a long time now. I don't know why I never asked you, like, how did the band form? Like, what was the start?
Well, it started with me and Dylan jamming in his room. Like he had a couple riffs that he wanted to show me. And we didn't really go into it with the idea of like, oh yeah, we're starting a band. It just kind of happened. But
so shortly after they started riffing, they got a vocalist and needed a drummer. So I was initially a paid part-time drummer for Yosemite In Black.
Oh, very Dave Grohl of you.
And after a while, we just kind of decided that we were going to do a lineup change, and I became the vocalist and thus started our search for a drummer. And 2 years later, we're here with this lovely gentleman, Mike, if you would like to add anything.
You just do like a hair flip mic for the camera, like you have like this majestic like, girl thing going, like just do a thing. Give it to us. Yes.
Is that good?
Oh, that was great.
Yes.
Yeah, I joined the band last October. Dylan had posted something in Atlanta Facebook musician group, and he posted it like late August, early September, and I responded on a whim, just looking for gigs, and it worked out. And here we are.
Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I did some YouTube research today, and I came across a performance in Jacksonville, Florida, Drift Away. Tell me a little bit about that and touring. You know, how is it? You know, how is it being touring musicians?
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Like, we started June 5th and we played our first day in Chattanooga, and then we had a 2-day break. We came home, and then it was literally 5 days in a row.
Nice.
And I want to hand it off to Luke.
You looked so excited the last time I saw you when you were about to tour. I was like, he's so excited.
Now you were talking with the mic. Drift Away is actually an older track that was off our first ever EP that we released, which I actually did vocals and drums on because that was a weird era at the time.
Kind of like an in-between.
Yeah, exactly. It was very much in between state. We were in between drummers.
Yeah.
But that's an older track that we played live there, and we played that song live for a while like it has not been on Spotify for over a year now, and like we played it live up until this last tour.
Professional video shot in Jacksonville of it.
Yeah, you know, that was kind of something that just came to us. They were like, yo, do you want this footage? We were like, sure. And then we posted it. I mean, It's good footage, but
Yeah, no,
we don't even play that song anymore.
Man.
Speaking of performances, you guys remember that one at that one place in Woodstock?
Connect Live.
With the guy who played the full-on like Dungeons and Dragons soundtrack before you guys went on. That shit
Man.
was wild.
That show was something else. There was 3 people there. You were one of them, and there were
Yeah.
seats everywhere. So all 3 people were sitting down.
Well, like it was just a
it was
random
pretty much
mix
a
of
church. It felt like-
musicians. Just so random.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird bill, but I mean, it was a really cool spot. It's since closed down, sadly, but it was.
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah, it did.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Because of us, I guess.
Because of us.
Actually,
Because of you.
it might have closed because of my other band at the time. I was playing drums for a band called Cult of She, and we played one show there, and then they closed the next day because we played a show there, and we brought a few people, and like the setup in this place was really weird. It was literally set up like a youth group church style thing, where it was like the connecting chairs and all that. And they had these tables out front, and our crowd kind of started going buck wild, and one of them flipped a glass table.
Ooh.
And then the next day they posted on Facebook that they were shutting down, and we were like, did we do that?
That was my grandma's table, you bitches.
Well, I'm a writer, so I write small town horror, and I always want to get into the minds of other writers, and that includes songwriters. Can you tell me about your process of how you come up with a song? You guys collectively, I don't know who does most of the writing, but I'd like to know your process on how, on how you come up with what you come up with.
Great question. So I sit in my room like 8 hours a day and just play riffs till something sounds cool. And then we come up, I'll find something. I'm like, all right, that's for the band. And then I'll show it to them at practice, and they'll be like, all right, that's dope. And then the next day, Luke will have like all the lyrics, and that's pretty much it.
Well, that's a good process. So, Luke, how do you come up with those lyrics? What kind of mindset do you have to get in to get there? I know the music is bringing you there, but
yeah. So typically, I mean, like my songwriting processes typically revolve around the music, because I always like to write to like already instrumental tracks. I don't like to write the lyrics first, because that just ends up being a whole slew of problems, trying to fit it into a song. So once we get like a good song structure down, I'll typically just take like, all right, what's been pissing me off this last month? And then I'm just like, all right, time to turn that into something. I write a lot of poetry, so a lot of the times I'll turn poetry into it. Or if the song's just kind of more straight, like a very literal track, like our most recent drop, 6 Feet, like that's a pretty straightforward track lyrically. So that's just kind of like, I just take exactly what I think, and I'm like, all right, now make it rhyme. And then it's a song.
All right. Well, that's awesome. I love to get into the heads of other writers, and we've had other songwriters on the show too. So I'm always interested in that process.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that storytelling elements a lot of the time help, because growing up, I used to write like little short stories and stuff like that. I've always very much been involved in the creative process of not only just writing, but storytelling in general. So a lot of the times, especially with music videos, it's a lot more fun. I love like coming up with the really cool story arc for a music video to kind of pre-plan out to go along with the lyrics as kind of a compliment, not necessarily. Exactly. It was exactly how we put Parasite together. It was just like an idea that doesn't necessarily have anything directly to do with the song, but it's
it definitely worked. It definitely worked for that video for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that one, out of everything I watched, that one still stood out to me the most. So great job again on Parasite.
Even instrumentally wise, they tell like a story without words. Like a good one is Parasite. So I kind of look at it like a movie. It starts out real nice and slow, and then it kind of breaks down, telling the story, comes up, comes back down, comes up.
Yeah.
And then we have that break before the breakdown where you're like about to figure out what's happening in the movie, and the breakdown happens.
Yeah. You're at the top of that roller coaster. Click, 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 right before it goes down. Yeah.
Like I just see a roller coaster in my brain when like we're writing as a band or I'm in my room. So
right. That's awesome.
It's really cool.
That's awesome.
You want to do something?
Well, no, I was going to ask about, because I mean, so you talked about the music, but so are you always guitars first, then drums, or guitars, vocals, then drums, or do you what kind of?
Yeah, as 95% of the time, it's always guitars first, just because like a lot of the times, like kind of going back to songwriting a little bit vocally, I try to keep in mind like a lot of the stuff we write is very like guitar riffs forward. You know, like we're a very riffy band, and like we have a lot of like vibe breaks, I guess. I don't know, where it's just like the guitars are doing something cool, and like, you know, sometimes you want to let that sing. So yeah, exactly. Exactly. The guitars are really what kind of carries our music to have the platform it does. So it's like that's always where we start. And then we'll typically throw drums, and then bass will accent the drums, and then vocals last.
Yeah, so the guitars start the engine, and then you roll through. I got you.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, what I'd like to find out from each one of you, and it doesn't have to be a big 20-minute deal with each one of you, but I would like to know individually how each of you got into music. You know, what started you into music, and then you just pass the mic around, because I'm always interested in how musicians begin their journey.
Yeah, so I guess I'll kick us off. I was raised in a super musical family. My old man is an MD at a church, and has been for a long time. So I grew up with instruments. Always had an interest in it, watching my pops play. Started taking drum lessons when I was 9. Worked up through all the high school band stuff. Ended up at Berklee College of Music, and
wow,
I don't think there's been a minute where I've looked back. I mean, I just kind of latched onto it as a kid and been running with it since.
That's awesome. I love that.
I did not go to Berklee. So yeah, with me, it was just kind of, I've always been a very performative person. I grew up doing musical theater, actually. And somewhere around early middle school, my older brother Hunter, who's like my biggest musical influence, showed me a 4-Year Strong song, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing with my life. And then I got older and more pissed off, and so I started screaming.
Awesome.
I'll make it short because I could talk all day, but it was like in 8th grade, my dad gave me 2 CDs. It was Metallica Ride the Lightning and then a Pantera live album. And when I heard those, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is awesome. And so that Christmas, I begged for a guitar. I got my first guitar, and now I'm here.
That's a good story. That's a good start.
Without those CDs, I don't know what I'd be doing, but yeah.
Well, growing up, I went to a private school, and, you know, having a disability, I wasn't really able to get involved in like sports and all the stuff my friends were into. So I kind of got into music because, you know, a lot of the times I was sitting at home recovering from the surgery, and, you know, you can sit down and play an instrument all day. So I started with guitar, and then around 11th grade, I heard a band called Deftones, and that got me into playing the bass because I don't know, that band made me like fall in love with music.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, man, the video
to want to play it.
The videos I've seen online, and I you know, I'd love to see you guys live one day. Cody, the way you handle that bass, man, you got it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I mean, my eyes go to you. But just the expressions you make when you're on that bass.
It's bass face. I can't help
bass
it.
face.
I can't help it.
They're cool
Bass
as fuck,
face.
man.
He did it once at our house. We were all started drinking it, and my stepdad still talks about this to this day. He's like, the day he was just playing acoustic bass, man. It was awesome. And he was
Okay. Here's the story. I was over at Elena's house. I got fucking wasted, and
little
I
wasted
grabbed my
hands.
bass and I just started like playing around with it, and I didn't have my amp, and they thought it was fucking hilarious.
Well, because like we weren't gonna let him do it, like, and he just kept going, and then Amadeus finally goes, "Yes, I love the sound of acoustic bass, Cody. I love the sound."
Oh man, well that's a good story. So you guys tour. So I want to hear a story or two about what has happened on tour. There has to be something crazy shit that's gone on.
All right,
But, we need to know.
I'm gonna tell the best story that we'll probably ever tell, and it's gonna be right here on the Horror 421 podcast.
Awesome.
So we were headed from Charleston, South Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida. And we stopped at a gas station about 2 hours out from the venue, and we're walking out of the gas station, and we noticed a young man dressed in like harem pants, kind of like hippie pants, I guess. It's got all the coins and bells and stuff hanging off. He's wearing a pirate hat. He looked like Jack Sparrow. And we're like, who's this guy? I want to be friends with him. So we walk up to him. We just start chatting. We tell him we're a touring band, and he tells us he's just traveling the world playing music. And I'm like, that is fucking beautiful. He then proceeded to sing. He sang for us like right next to his gas pump. A Korean love song.
Was his voice like Fergie and Jesus mixed together?
It was.
It was like Jack Sparrow and Jesus.
It was
Jesus.
Absolutely beautiful. Because we gave him our like band Instagram, and we parted ways. His name was June, and he came to the show that we had that night in Jacksonville, and he was front row vibing from the minute we played our first note until we got off stage. Until we left. This man was having such a good time, and he was such a genuinely kind person, and he blessed us because like that show was packed out shoulder to shoulder. That was an it was our best show of that tour. It was an absolute experience, and I hope to see June again someday.
That is a great story.
Gypsy bought some extra coins with him for your show. Extra luck.
That is a great story.
Did he wear the pirate hat the whole time?
It was just I don't think he had it on during the show. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to like picture that. I was like, dude, this would be awesome.
Fucking massive tricorn. Just
Yeah.
Fuck.
This dude was like rave dancing, like the thing with the hands.
Oh, he was
okay.
doing
Yeah, yes.
Dude.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, he was like right up on the stage, like looking up at me like, you got it, bro. I was like, I know, man. You're the best.
Thanks, June.
June, if you're listening, you got a shout out,
He
bud.
vibe checked me. It was insane. It was nuts.
Like, we need to do a podcast with June. Like,
Yeah.
I want to.
Honestly, yes.
We have to do this. Like, this has to be a life goal now. Like, he blessed you. We have to bless him back.
You guys need to talk to him and figure out what he's about. Like it's 2 hours.
Yeah, like, what made you want to go on a journey and also as a pirate? Like,
I left home.
Yeah,
when
I
was
know.
3.
And it's cool,
Is it-
man.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't just wear a pirate hat, like no statement, like
right, and rock
you
the
gotta-
shit
you
out
gotta-
of it.
You meet them randomly at a gas station, and he's front row at your show. That's crazy. That's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fate.
yeah.
Of course, it was in Florida. Florida man walks around with hair and pants.
He's from
and a pirate hat.
Texas though. That's the
Oh,
crazy thing.
shit.
Yeah,
He fucking
this-
walked.
yeah.
He Forrest Gumped it.
Promise you.
Forrest Gump. This. Oh man, that's pretty cool.
So, what is the show that you're most excited about? Because, like, I'm also just really, really proud of you guys because I know you wanted to do big festivals and the shit is happening, and you're opening up for like fucking amazing ass bands. I'm proud of you guys, but like, what is the one that you're just most excited for? Like, you're gonna shit your pants. Like, what is the best one?
Yeah. coming up in August, we're playing the Kentucky Irate Festival. August 26th, we're playing with a bunch of sick bands. And we're just super excited to play on a big boy stage, you know, see a sea of people. We do. So stoked to play a new state, huge stage. I know coming up in the next 2 weeks. Oh, sweet. We're also playing at Sabbath Brewing July 11th with Enox, and that's going to be a super fun show. Sabbath hits. But who are some of these headliners? Let's see. Impending Doom, Sea of Treachery, Rivers of Nile.
Nice.
So it's just a stacked lineup, and honestly, I'm as excited to see these shows as I am to play them.
Right.
Anyone else have anything to add to that? Irate.
Like the day y'all open for Suicide Silence, that's gonna be the shit right there. It's gonna happen. I'm claiming this into existence. It's gonna fucking happen.
Now this is a horror podcast, and we typically ask our guests this. I know Cody's into horror from working at the Haunt. How are the rest of you guys? Are you guys into horror? Do you have any influences in horror? Do you like particular types of horror movies, books, that kind of thing?
Actually, me, Cody, and Dylan are all ex-haunters.
Oh, nice.
That's my party skeleton that I got when I worked at a haunt. I got it. We did some like festival parade walk thing, and I was like, yo, to celebrate haunted shit, I'm gonna get this dancing skeleton.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's actually how me and Dylan met, was working at 13 Stories together.
I forgot it was 13 Stories. That's right.
Yep, we went and sat at the same place to avoid people, and that's how we became friends.
Well, what kind of creepy shit are you guys into as far as books and movies and that kind of thing? We're always interested in other creative people and what they listen to and watch or read.
80s horror movies.
Yes.
The Thing is my favorite ever.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Of course,
the effects in that movie still hold up today.
Oh yeah.
Like
they still make the props from the movie. Like those sell constantly.
Insane. And I guess music wise is Misfits. I mean, really, like yeah, they're the Haunt band. They're awesome. No better band to listen to in October than the Misfits. But yeah, 80s horror is my thing.
Awesome.
I'm all about I would say like late 90s horror movies. Terrifier is one of my favorites, even though that's a new one. And I know y'all have nice. Awesome. But
we talked about farts with that guy.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
For about
can't believe
45 minutes.
Awesome.
Yeah, solid 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
I don't know, actually. I'm not a huge horror fan, but I am a huge like manga and anime fan. So, you know, the whole Chainsaw Man, Berserk, the kind of horror side of that side is where I'm at. But I'm interested in it. So if you've got a list, send it to me.
Oh man,
I have a lot of weird shit, but you need to start with the 80s horror first. You gotta like work your way.
Yeah.
Word. I'll see what these guys
actually watch Rocktober Blood. It's terrible, but you should watch it. Yeah, it's on Shudder.
I'm with it. I'll check it out.
Okay, time to nerd out because they know I won't shut up about it. But Stranger Things is like the greatest show of all time.
Thank you.
Are y'all caught up?
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't caught up on this season. Like I've been.
I am caught up.
Close your ears. Me and Charles are going to talk about this. Okay, isn't it awesome that Robert Englund is in that new season?
It's fucking spectacular. It is.
That is, they couldn't pick anybody better for that.
Especially the storyline they have going on. So
yes,
we have
it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street-esque
It
And
is.
He's the guy. Like,
Yeah,
insane.
it's sweet. And I
And there was
can't.
I was just pissed last season. Like I was like, how y'all?
Well, the rest of it drops on July 1st, so just
Yeah,
I gotta catch.
we're having a party this weekend to watch it and nerd out.
nice.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a Stranger Things nut too. Love it. Love
it's
it.
amazing.
It is amazing.
Well, it's got all of the things. It's got like this. It's got the aliens. It's got the '80s.
It's got the nostalgia.
in it.
Yeah.
It's got
It's got the
hot
Goonies
beach babes from
vibe.
the 80s in it.
Yeah. Also mullets.
And
Mullets.
hot
Comeback,
mullets
you know?
from the 80s.
Mullets.
And hot
Yeah.
beach babes with mullets.
Yeah.
Beach babes with mullets. There you go.
Rip it in the carrot.
The wild women. The wild women.
Well, Luke, what about you, man? I don't think I heard all the influences from you or the things
My
you like.
personal taste in horror is pretty similar to Mike's. I'm more on the manga side of things. I really
I need
like,
recommendations.
one recently, I have not read it yet, but I've heard from my girlfriend that it is an amazing book. There's a book called The Slob that is a really, really good horror book.
Ah, that guy follows me on TikTok. The author, actually.
Oh, really? Okay, there you go. She told me it was a pretty crazy read, so I'm thinking about reading that. But yeah,
It's intense.
mostly the only horror I really have enjoyed myself is Junji Ito. Really, like I'm
I
just
hear a
more
lot
on
of
the
good things on
side
that
of
one.
it. Yeah.
So is that influenced your music at all? Since that's more of your world is manga.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you guys ever consider, like, since you and Mike are both fans of manga, like doing a manga style band T-shirt?
Well, suddenly I'm having an
Suddenly you
idea.
have the
I thought that would be cool. Like you like screaming into a microphone full on manga
Yeah,
style. I
that'd-
thought that would be
That'd
cool.
be sick. Oh, for my
You're
solo
welcome.
group? Oh yeah, for sure.
Solo
Yeah.
record. Oh man.
Y'all
There-
sticker gets the most compliments at work. My little Yosemite one. They're like, "Who is
That's cool.
Yosemite in Black?" And I'm like, "You wouldn't know. You're not cool enough."
Dang,
Nice.
most people just can't even read it. That's kind of impressive.
I
You
have
heard it,
both
you-
of them.
You heard it
Something
at
like,
you heard it at
Man, what's that
Yosemite.
sticker of trees?
Who's Yosemite? Who is that?
We actually have a sticker that I guess for yes, it's not a copy. We have Yosemite Zam, a parody of the old cartoon character with the two guns,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we put him on a sticker. We didn't steal it. We created it, and it's him with two guns. His guns are purple.
yeah, the guns are purple.
And he's like
That's-
this, and it says Yosemite in Black.
That's
And
the one I
that
have on
way-
my coffee cup.
Yeah, that
I
way when
mentioned it
people
on my
are like,
mug.
"What is this band like, Yosemite Sam?" And we're like, "Yeah, Yosemite in Black." So
How you say it.
yeah,
Actually, on the topic of our name, funny enough, that same show we were talking about earlier at Connect Live in Woodstock.
I'm sorry, I can't get over how funny that was.
I think this is probably the worst we've ever seen our name butchered. We get our name butchered a lot, you know, we're kind of used to it at this point. We hear Yosemite in Black quite often. But the best thing that ever happened was they had the flyer and they had all the names in white, and they had sent us an email asking us like, yo, what's your band name, logo, blah, blah, blah. They didn't put our logo on there. But what they did put was Yosemite spelled incorrectly in black text rather than white text. They thought that we just wanted Yosemite, but we wanted it in black. So we
That's funny.
You should have been there. Like the ending of the show was like this 1950. What was the guy? He had the big thing, and then he was like, "Can I get a little bit more me in the mic?" I don't know why that shit was so wild. Yeah, it was a very random array of artists. Did you go to that one
Yeah.
with me?
No, you went to the one that I
Oh,
went
you
to
had-
was
you were
at
out of town.
yeah, I went to the one at, it wasn't center stage, but it was the one next to center stage. I can't remember.
the vinyl.
Vinyl. That was the one
I
that I
was
went
in
to with
Florida.
Vinyl. that was another one that had a wide range of different acts, but that was a fucking awesome show though.
Yeah, actually, our first ever show with me as the vocalist was at the Vinyl, and Dylan smashed his guitar.
Oh.
You threw it headstock first into the ground. And somewhere along, I was about to say, somewhere along the line, I had like a 4-foot drumstick that I started beating our old drummer's china into the wall. It was a whole mess, but it was a fun show for sure.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Nice.
Have you guys? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we were on the name, so I didn't know like if you wanted to explain the name. Is it just cool sounding? Is there more?
You're going right where I was going, Dustin.
Do you want to redeem yourself, Dylan? Dylan's gonna redeem himself.
So long story short, Yosemite, it used to be like a tribe, I think, in like California or that area a long time ago. And the tribe name Yosemite meant to kill. So Yosemite means to kill, and in black sounds really cool. So to kill in black.
There you go.
Actually, that brings a whole new meaning.
We have killing riffs.
All right. Yep. That was the next question I was going to ask. So thanks, Dustin.
I just shot you right in the foot.
No, you're good. I did jot down a note. There was one more track I wanted you guys to talk about because I got a feel for the lyrics, but I kind of want you to dive into it a little more and kind of tell me the meaning behind it. But the song was called Deep South Hate. Can you tell me a little bit about that song?
Yeah, for sure. So Deep South Hate is a song that I wrote like after having to deal with some people that I had to deal with at the time that were involved in my life that were very, very, very racist, like real racism. Like this was like scary shit. So it just, really struck me to my core just because I just could not even fathom how people can even think like that. And on the other end of it, there are Black people in my family. And so it's like, it's something that's, about as close to my heart as I feel like I can get. So, it means a lot to me. It's a song that's kind of a big middle finger to just like all the systems in place that put down, Black people and people of color, as well as the people that want those systems in place. It's a very, very heavy-hearted song.
Well, that's exactly what I got from it. So that's kind of wanted to know the backstory, how it came up.
Deep South Hate is kind of like pointing a finger at the Deep South, because not everybody, but a lot of people teach hate in those states. And so the song's kind of about like the middle finger to that. So he's called it Deep South Hate.
Yeah, like the breakdown lyrics, the from the ashes I have grown, that like lyrically represented to me of like kind of people who say they grew up in a different time, their family is like that, trying to make excuses and whatnot. And it's like, growing up in the South, you can't grow up away from that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is everywhere around here. So it's like, you have to be able to teach yourself. You have to be willing to learn. And
you got to rise above it, right?
You got to rise above it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. Well, that song struck a chord with me too, because everyone on this podcast right now is in the Deep South.
Yes, sir.
So
we are.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to get all serious and shit, but I wanted to know the meaning behind that song.
I mean, like,
serious music.
If
what
you're going to ask
do.
about
Yeah.
like the lyrical content of our songs,
Oh yeah.
it's going to get a little sad.
Oh no. What I'm saying is I didn't want to bring down the podcast, but I did want to know the origin and how that came about, because it is a touching, thought-provoking song that more people should hear.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of everything we write for people to hear it and like feel something, you know?
Right.
It's like, it's not just here for the sake of being here. It's here because we have something to say.
Exactly. It's like, here, look at me. It's here. Listen to this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's party music and there's music with a fucking meaning.
Exactly.
And you guys definitely brought a lot of the latter.
Appreciate it. We really do. Hearing it from somebody else's mouth is nice.
All right. Let me see what else I got here. Do you have any other stories you'd like to share, whether it's from a tour or you told us a good one already, but I know we can get another one out maybe before the podcast is over. I'd like to hear another cool story from one of you guys.
I mean, I know we've got plenty. It's just trying to pick out all of them here. Because we're a goofy bunch, if you couldn't tell.
Oh, yeah.
You should go there on a night when they're walking through the haunt. It's funny as shit.
I'll bet.
Yeah. Because certain people, when I went through the haunt, were yelling my name and scaring me.
I have no idea what the hell you were talking about.
See, there's a story right there, Elena. What's that story?
It was not me. Well,
I don't want to get into it. It's scary.
I got school.
I have a very good spot. That's all. And no one knows you're there until you start saying their name. Like, what the fuck is that? And it's awesome.
Yeah. So to brighten the mood, on the way back from our tour, we kept seeing these billboards for this. It was like 36,000 square foot building. It like there were like 20 billboards every mile. We're like, what is this place? We got to try it out. And it was called the Adult Superstore. And it was like the biggest in the South.
Oh, yeah.
You talking about exit 149?
Damn, Elena, you know
Those
that.
are like literally
Listen,
100
you've been you've literally been on this stretch. Like, it's literally exit 149. Like,
yeah.
Like a whole ass thing.
And it had like 36,000 square feet. And our band van in the trailer was in the parking lot of that place. And we all made a little group run in there and checked it out. And it was weird. It was weird to be there with my friends. And we were talking to the owner, and he's like, yeah, man, we got like 1,000 of these billboards. And I was just, they got some good advertising. That's all I can say.
Oh, man. 1,000.
Ask him how he acquired 36,000 square
That's
feet of fuck.
expensive.
Dude, it was like, it was an adult superstore. Super.
36,000 square feet. Is fucking Walmart that big? That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge.
So, like, what was the weirdest thing you saw in there? I want to know.
The people were very
The fucking
interesting.
people.
And we did somehow get in a conversation with a guy shopping there. And we were just talking about music. And we were like, yeah, man, let's check this out. We're on tour.
We didn't realize
And then I stepped back. And I was like, yo, this man has pornography in his hand. He's trying to get some business done. And we're here advertising our band. We're like,
Just
all
trying
right,
to bust a nut, man.
we need to go. But the coolest thing in there, if I had the money, I would buy it just to have it. It was a real life fucking human. It was like $12,000.
Like the real life fuck dolls?
It was real.
Oh.
Oh, bro.
I was like, yo, a person's 12 grand? Holy shit.
No, she was, I don't remember her name, but she was like,
Oh, my God.
she was like 5 feet tall. And her skin felt real and everything. She was in a box.
Oh, God. Elena says, you mean the fuck dolls?
But it wasn't a real person.
You mean the
box
fuck
said it
dolls?
felt real.
So, like, that's one of the best things to do is go into one of those stores with your closest friends after a night of drinking
Exactly.
or just be drunk in the moment. Because, like, then you'll have, like, the ones with just the butt and you'll start
I wish we were drunk.
poking
Yeah,
it.
I know.
It's weird. It's just like,
But if we would have sold a couple more shirts, I would have bought her
God.
and just had her. She could be on the podcast chilling.
you legit could just, like, put her in like, model everything. Be like,
Yeah. She didn't come with clothes, so.
Yeah.
she needs to be close. Yeah.
we
Did
had
she
shirts.
talk, though?
Did she
Did she,
talk?
like,
I
have
don't know.
programming?
That'd be
That
cool.
would be. I mean, for 12 grand, she
That's-
better have fucking programming.
Nah, that's 20 grand.
Yeah.
And it's $5 grand more to shut her the fuck up.
Oh, this is the basic model foot, doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me.
Probably walks up. You want some?
You want some fuck?
Spit on my face.
God. Oh
But we
yeah.
probably have like a million more stories, but those are really the only ones that pop out right now.
Oh, that was a pretty good one. That was a pretty good one.
You said it was 36,000 square foot though. Like, I'm just trying to figure out like
That's a big.
how
fucking
much fucking
store.
movies
Yeah,
you can
no, it
find.
was mind
Get bored.
Well, I thought the store in freaking New Orleans was big. That was a big ass store.
That was a big store,
Yeah.
but it wasn't 36,000 fucking.
No, but it was big though.
But
That's
was
a-
it 10,000 square feet or 30,000 square feet?
36.
Whatever
No, it wasn't.
3 floors, no?
No, not even
30
close.
36,000 is a warehouse. That's a fucking warehouse.
I will say I do remember
It's like
seeing the
fucking
building,
warehouse of.
and
Yeah.
like we kind of came to the realization that like most of the square footage was definitely the parking lot.
Yeah.
Because we were like, that can't be. Like, they were on a big plot of land. They're kind of sliding.
Probably
by
had
on
a
the
good selection of
technicality
flower pots.
there. Yeah. We learned on our tour though that gear breaks a lot.
Yes.
we
Yes,
learned
it
that
does.
Mike's gear especially. Every single night there was something we kind of had to jerry rig together like right before we went on because
That's
we
when you
wouldn't
just
pull
take
our
out the
gear
Gatorade
of
bottles,
trailer
you
until,
know.
like, we're going on.
Yeah, you feel alive, right?
Yeah, our last show on this last tour was in Atlanta, and we were all tired and kind of like, it's our hometown show. Like, we don't need to bring like all this extra gear that we brought on tour just in case. And it ended up being the one show where we needed all of the extra gear.
Oh man.
Mike's hi-hat stand broke. I'm pretty sure you forgot your hi-hats too. Dylan's guitar string was broken the entire time.
Were y'all at
Yeah,
the Drunken Unicorn?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite venues. I fucking love that venue.
Yeah, that was was that y'all's first time there? I know Mike's been
You
there
get to party
before.
at MJQ after?
No, we
Oh, you got
a
to.
few of us went to the Claremont.
Yeah,
Yosemite In
oh.
Black's club of choice.
I still have yet to go. I need to go.
You should go. You need to go.
I was gonna take you
have
for your
to go.
birthday.
Okay.
Yeah? Alright.
Yeah. The Claremont.
Cody,
is
you
the
going?
birthday
Let's
place.
go. You down? You down? Alright. We have to go. It's an adventure now. We're making this happen.
Hit me up and let me know.
What month is bad for you?
All of them now.
All of them now, but
We'll figure something out. Just hit me up.
okay. Charles, I would offer for you to go, but I don't think that you would like it.
You're more than welcome.
Oh, all right. If Elena recommends I not go, then maybe I shouldn't. But maybe I
Funny
should.
story.
Come on.
Funny story about the Claremont Lounge. Okay, funny fucking story. I had a friend, and we didn't know her mom worked there, and we were watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and her mom's at the whole ass Claremont Lounge on The Real Housewives of Atlanta episode on Easter. Everybody is at the house watching it, and her mom's just up there like, and I was like, it was bad. It was really bad.
That is something else. Holy cow.
Yeah, like full on. I was like, this is on national TV, my guy. Everybody watches this. Like, this is prime time. And like all of us on Easter. And our other friend's husband was like, oh, that ain't right. That just ain't right.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, she was like,
Jeez.
So are you guys done with your current tour, or is that
We wrapped it up on the 14th.
okay?
It's a 7-day we had 7 dates.
7
all in
dates. Okay.
Mhm.
Do you have another tour lined up in the near future? Or are you still working
Yeah,
on that?
we're trying to put one together right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have two. We have two for sure booked right now. Two in October that are like we're still figuring out, but
Okay.
two are locked in right now, and that's July 11th at Sabbath, and Kentucky Irate in Kentucky.
Oh wow, Kentucky, nice.
It'll be our first time in that state. We're pumped.
I'm about to go to distillery.
Good distillery.
yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. Well, what I want to do now is if you guys can maybe share with the listeners and the people who are watching the podcast, tell us where we can find Yosemite in Black, where we can find your stuff, where they can find your music, where you can find your social media, where you can find anything and everything we can about Yosemite in Black.
You can pretty much find us anywhere. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. That's where our music is. We're on Apple Music. We have a YouTube set up with our music videos. Our music videos are dropped on different channels, but you can just look up our name and all of it will pop up.
I'm pretty sure we're on Napster for some reason.
Yes.
Napster.
Napster.
We're on a bunch of weird stuff.
You on Bandcamp?
We're not on Bandcamp. Please. Do
I heard
not search our
Bandcamp's hella
Bandcamp.
expensive.
Please, for the love. Please. That was
Sorry.
our
My bad.
demo stuff is on Bandcamp, and
Everyone
when
go
we
to
get it taken
Bandcamp.
off, we have to figure out how to go about that.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
Do you guys have a website?
We have a merch site.
Okay.
We're still in the process of kind of getting our own kind of URL and all that set up.
Yeah, well,
But-
it'll be a few weeks before this podcast actually airs. So I'm going to post links to everything that's available when it's
Awesome.
available on the Apple feed, all the podcast platforms. I'll put those links on and YouTube, so people can go
Awesome.
directly to where your stuff is. Just as long as you provide that, I'll put it on there.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you guys. And anything else you guys want to say to plug your band? You know,
We
there's
got
some
hot sauce.
hot sauce. All right.
Oh
Where-
shit.
Where can they
We
find it?
have- it's good shit. We have a bottle of hot sauce that we have named Stinger Sauce after our song Stinger, because that song fucks. So on the hot sauce bottle, it says "This shit fucks." It has a pretty little picture of us, some cool ass art, and it's some tasty ass hot sauce.
Awesome.
Buy it before it expires.
Now, is there a site they can go to and buy that like right now?
It'll I was about to say it's gonna be up on our merch site tonight. So
Okay.
YosemiteInBlack.bigcartel.com.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure I put that link on the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Elena, Dustin, do you have any other follow-up questions for the band?
Yeah, what's everybody listening to right now?
Yeah.
New stuff.
I've been on a heavy doom kick. I'm listening to a lot of like fuzz metal, doom, like kind of stoner shit. I've recently been turned on to a band called Leather Lung.
Leather Lung.
Leather
I'm
Lung.
fucking
They-
saving that.
Leather
It's
lung.
just like
Leather Lung.
southern,
Fucking love Doom.
just like real fuzz metal stuff. I love it. Leather Lung, Monolord, and
That's like a
Monolord's
cool-
badass.
yeah, Monolord, obviously. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, I've been flipping between Prince, Wild Harta, and Silent Planet.
Nice.
The classics, you know.
That's right.
Well, I always have Deftones in my rotation.
Yeah.
Always. Always.
I've been listening to this band called Super Heaven. They're really good. Another band called Day Aches. They're awesome. Both very shoegazy bands. So I'm kind of on a shoegazy kick right now.
I'm on a weird death metal kick. I've been listening to a lot of Gate Creeper and another band called Sanguius Bog. I think that's how you say it. Sanguisica Bob.
The fuck?
Pardon? What'd you just call me?
Sanguisica Bog. They're an awesome band, especially because their about page on Spotify just says down-tuned drug death.
Drug death.
Yeah.
Nice.
We all have a wide range that we're listening to right now.
Yeah, that's fucking broad.
That's pretty wide range.
All right, I have a question
Out of
for
five
all
stars,
y'all
fucking
before we
random.
wrap this up.
Okay.
Yeah.
For each person, what is your number one favorite horror movie?
God damn it.
No number
Fuck.
twos, number one.
There's so many.
That's so hard.
That is hard, man.
That's so hard.
I got school. You can't answer that.
But I've got
Yeah,
school.
this just
I
like
got school.
half hour longer.
Oh man. Favorite. Let me see.
Charles, you go first.
Well, I don't have a favorite is my problem.
What's your favorite right now?
What's your favorite right now?
Well, one of my favorite horror movies is always in my top 5, and you guys may not think it should be, but I do, is The Descent. That one was a good had a good claustrophobic feel, and it had mostly an entire female cast, and they played well off of one another. Now, The
I'll
Descent,
put that on my watch list.
yeah, The Descent 2 sucks. Don't watch that shit, but watch the first one. It's
What
called
was
The
the one
Descent.
we watched, the 70s one that I was like obsessed with the other day?
The 70s?
Lisa and the Devil?
Lisa and the Devil.
Lisa and the
one.
Devil.
I'm like, I don't know why I love that movie. Like, that's right now because like I've watched it recently on Shudder. It's a 70s grindhouse.
No, it's not a grindhouse.
No.
No, it's just a.
No, it's an art.
It's
scene.
it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool, that
Yeah,
one, and
it's
then
got a
they
good vibe.
had the night that what was it? The night that
The night that Evelyn came out of the grave.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
that
one's really
shit's
cool.
batshit crazy. Highly recommend everyone to watch that because it's fucking wild.
The
finish.
70s have some really good horror movies. I know some of you guys said you were fans of the 80s horror movies, but and I am too. I was a child of the 80s, but the 70s horror movies, they rock too. And you also, I did want to mention Terrifier. So
Terrifier is
it's over the top. It's over the
One
top.
of my all-time favorites. I fired it down. I actually really like the Skeleton Key.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
real.
very
Yeah.
it's very atmospheric.
I'm with
I don't
you
know.
on
I
that.
really like that one.
I'm with you on that. That's my
As a-
favorite Kate Hudson movie.
I don't know. I like the voodoo aspect of it. I think
It's
that's
awesome.
my biggest thing. That was the main
Yeah.
reason I wanted to go to New Orleans was because of that movie. Like
You're right.
full reason.
So are you really Dustin and Elena? Are you really Dustin and Elena? Okay. Talking about the end of that film if no one's watched it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
never finished it.
Oh,
But going back to Terrifier, Art the Clown is probably the scariest character in like recent
True.
films.
True.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
for sure.
I seen when I was in Little Five Points for a Halloween festival, somebody was dressed like Art the Clown, and just watching him walk down the street, I was like terrified.
yeah. Well, the good news came out today that Terrifier 2 has found a home. It's going to be on Bloody Disgusting. It's going to stream on their
Thank
streaming
God.
channel, Screenbox. So it'll be out Halloween. So Terrifier 2.
Said it's gonna be
He said it was way
David
more.
was saying it was gonna be like fucking nuts. Like maybe a 10-minute like drop off of calm, but like he said it's fucking wild.
Yeah. Nonstop.
He said
Okay, I
it's
have
what,
a
2
follow-up
hours?
question too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You didn't answer the question, but okay.
Okay, The Crow, even though it's more of an action movie.
Well, the Crow's
That's
good.
always my go-to for favorite.
Yeah, that's a
The
good
Crow
choice.
is awesome. Now, what's the biggest letdown for a horror movie? Where y'all
Texas
were
Chainsaw
really-
Massacre, the new one that just came out on Netflix. You're welcome. Sorry.
Isn't that like the 5th remake though?
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
100
but it
iterations of that.
fucking sucked.
Yeah,
Sorry.
did not.
We talked about this on 2 podcast segments for like 30 minutes each time. So if we want to make it another
Yeah.
one, that's cool.
Fuck that movie.
That's 90. That's 90
Fuck
minutes
that
of
movie.
fuck that film.
30 seconds only. 30 seconds only.
Oh my god.
Can't stab an old bitch in the stomach with a chainsaw, and that bitch lived long enough to shoot a whole ass gun and throw one in it.
Hey,
The whole fucking city
spoilers.
was clean. There was no goddamn dirt anywhere in that city.
I'll tell you a movie that I walked out of a few years ago. That stupid ass Poltergeist remake. That thing was hot garbage.
Never saw it.
Yeah,
It
don't
was pretty
waste.
dumb.
Yeah, it was. I was.
I
20
did walk out of the Evil Dead remake because my little brother got scared. He got scared like I lied
Oh,
because
that
Good,
movie
though.
was fucking awesome.
we were my dad's religious, but like I lied and said we were seeing G.I. Joe.
Come on.
I was taking her to see. I snuck him in, and then like midway, she starts cutting her arm off. He's like, "Can we go?" And I was like, man, yeah, fuck, all right.
Yeah,
Fine,
that was in my top 10. I really
That's an
enjoyed that
awesome
movie.
remake. I actually
Yeah.
really like that remake.
It was really good, really well done.
The makeup effects were awesome.
That's reimagining something correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You
that's
know.
what he originally wanted when he made that movie.
Yeah.
Biggest letdown for me was Halloween 2 Rob Zombie remake. Well, not remake.
I actually kind of liked that one.
Yeah, that one it's kind of splits people. That one's pretty divisive.
It's not my favorite, but considering the first one was just like extremely violent, the second one was more of a dream sequence, which I kind of didn't. They went more of the what was it, Lords of Salem route with that one.
Yeah.
But Halloween.
That's another one that's fucking divisive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I changed my mind on it. When I first saw it, I hated it. Now I kind of like it. So I don't know. It switched me after I watched it a couple times and let it sink in.
How do you feel about the new Scream movies?
The newest one
The newest one.
It's all right. It's the same stuff. I mean,
Scream.
yeah, it's Scream.
Well, that was like one of my favorite franchises growing up.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
it was good, but it's nothing you haven't seen before. And it did piss me off when they killed. Well, I'm not gonna say it. In
They
case
did him
somebody
dirty.
knows.
They
Yeah,
did my boy dirty.
They did him dirty.
What was that fucking the movie with the preacher, the pastor with the mustache that we just watched that you fucking could barely make it through? Repent.
Oh, I don't remember the
I can't
name
remember the
of
name
it.
of the movie.
That shit was.
It's on Shudder
weird.
if I can fucking remember the name of it.
It looks like a young Anthony Hopkins.
It
but
does, but it's
it's not.
not.
It premise of the movie. I don't even know the fucking premise of the movie because it was weird.
No, the nun falls in love with him,
Yes.
and so it spirals into a big thing, a web of lies, and then they prosecute the.
It's like Clockwork Orange meets the church.
Yeah, it's kind of like Catholic Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
I did not like that.
Have you guys like gotten into the Shudder like short film rabbit hole?
You watched the Dorothy and her. The fuck?
I don't remember.
We
the name
just
of it.
watched
We just
it.
saw that.
Okay,
It was
don't
fucking-
judge me for recommending it, but it's weird and you need to watch it. So it's in
all about
French.
weird stuff. I love
Do
that
it.
kind of
It's
stuff.
fucking
Do
weird.
it and then let us know what you think. Like group message it. Let us know. It's your homework.
For sure. But
What's
yeah,
another good
like,
short?
all the short films on there are really, really cool. Just because I love like analyzing writing and stuff like that, and it's really easy to do that with a lot of the short films, and a lot of them are done with pretty small budgets too, and they pull shit off like really, really good. There's a lot of cool stuff on Shudder.
Did you watch Bliss? You didn't watch Bliss on Shudder?
I have not.
That's a crazy fucking movie. They got. Me
I
up
would,
for
yeah, I
Christmas.
would recommend that one just for the soundtrack because it's got Electric Wizard in it. There's so many others. Yeah,
It's the vagina.
Yeah.
It's the vagina thump.
All right.
yeah.
We just got
Yeah,
4
so-
people to watch the movie.
Fuck yeah.
That it's definitely an artistic film. I've watched it about 3 times and I find something else I like about it because it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite because I've watched it a lot.
I did like Z though.
You said it's called
Yeah,
Bliss?
Z was
BLISS.
BLISS. Yeah, Bliss. It's just fucking rapid fire movie. Like there's not even really a whole lot of.
It doesn't slow down.
It doesn't
No,
slow down.
it
It just
just
fucking
starts.
hits you and you
It
just
just
going.
starts.
And it's wide open, man. It is wide
Wide the fuck
open.
Wide the fuck up.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of weird things on Shudder. I've watched a lot of weird shit. Like we during COVID fell into a lot of Shudder rabbit holes. We did the one day we just started watching whatever was featured on there, and before you know it, me and him both were sitting there like, huh. And it was Bliss. That was the one. So
Yeah. Bliss caught me super off guard because I didn't know anything about it. I
Yeah.
just started it, and then once I saw it, I was like in
Yeah.
it. I was like, oh, this music's fucking awesome.
What was,
Because that like if the music in a film catches me, like I'm instantly like, oh, I gotta watch the rest of this because that matters a lot. If the music doesn't make sense with the scene, it just fucks me up.
what was that one we watched about the painting? It was the guy in the house. He goes, I can't remember. That was a good
There's
one
so
too.
many.
No, Shudder's it's a great source. I mean, they have a lot of older movies mixed in with newer movies and original material. So we're all Shudder fans here. But I do want to bring up a little plug for a friend of ours. His name's Tony Wash. He's a movie director, and he's part of Bloody Disgusting. He does all the programming there. Bringing all that up to bring this up. Bloody Disgusting and Screenbox TV are partners, and Terrifier 2 is coming to Screenbox. So Screenbox is another streaming service. They don't have the variety that Shudder has yet, but they're growing really fast. So make sure you check out Screenbox.
Oh, we gotta get that.
Yeah.
Immediately. The
Yeah.
film was called The Devils that I was talking about earlier.
The Devils?
The Devils. Yeah,
yes.
Charles definitely hit that one up. Let me know what you think.
It's weird. What's the one that you like that I hate? Castle Freak.
Castle Freak.
I don't
fucking love Castle
like
Freak.
that shit.
What's that one about?
Well, that was a crazy movie. Yeah, that's on Shudder, I think. Is that on Shudder?
Yeah. Both of them are.
This family moves into this like castle-esque.
I don't know why you hate that one, Elena. That one.
Well, like, I'm cool. I like anything that involves like ghosts, spirits, possessions, because like I don't know if y'all believe in that shit, but I do. And I don't fucks with it, so that scares me. But if you get into like this type of horror, which is more of, would you describe it as body?
Oh, psychological.
I don't know. I'm not a big
all
fan of
about
like
psychological horror. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite subgenre. Like Midsummer, The Lighthouse.
I haven't watched The Lighthouse yet.
Oh,
that's on
you
our
have
list.
to. That is a must. You have to watch that movie.
Okay.
It is.
What about the one?
amazing.
What about the one with the girl with the head thing?
That's Midsummer.
No.
Oh, no.
Her head comes like the
Hereditary.
kid. Is it good? Worth it?
Yes, that one's worth it too.
Nice.
The greatest
Slow
horror
burn.
movie of the 2000s.
It's amazing.
Is it still on Amazon?
I do
Probably.
not know, but it is amazing.
Charles, what would you say about Hereditary? That's also
Hereditary. At the first time I watched it, I kind of left not knowing what the fuck it was.
You have to watch it a couple of times to really grasp it.
Same with Midsummer.
Yeah, but upon like the third viewing, I've seen Hereditary a few times now. It gets under your skin. It's one of those that I kind of like those that get under your skin after you watch them. Another one that's a lot more violent that really got under my skin years ago was Martyrs. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen that one. That was
I still haven't watched that
that's
one.
a French.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
gotta check that one out.
yeah. That's a French movie, and if you're not ready for it, it will fuck you up. So just warning you.
Nice.
And I have the DVD, and the director actually apologizes for the movie on the DVD.
Damn.
That's awesome.
And he tells you before it starts, if you play his part, he says, I can't really recommend that you watch this movie. And he made it.
I'm gonna have
Martyrs.
to watch it now.
Yeah. Make sure you watch the uncut version because there's a cut version. Make sure it's
Uncut and in French.
yeah, that's right.
French Uncut's the best.
Is that one on Shudder too?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
They did put one on there, but I don't remember.
There's an American version. It's a completely different movie. They took the French script, took a big dump on it, wiped their ass with it, and then put out what was left. So the American version is
Definitely the French version.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
You have to order the uncut version.
Did anybody here watch malignant?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I like it.
I love that. I thought
did
that was
too.
fun.
If
like
you,
the twist.
Dylan,
Okay.
if you like 80s horror, you should watch that one. They made that movie bad on purpose.
Shit, that
They
movie
really
was
did.
good. That movie was good. What are you talking about? That movie was awesome. I like the twist too.
Yeah.
So, no spoilers. We won't give away the twist, but it was a pretty cool twist.
Any other questions from the band for us?
Yeah, I don't have any.
All right. Well, we kind of went over where we could find you guys. So normally what we do is we segue into Elena, and she can share with us where we can find all of her wonderful stuff.
Awesome.
I am JukeboxBaby78 on Instagram as well as on TikTok. It is where all my body paints are, regular makeup, weird, crazy videos that I like to make sometimes. And then you can find me on Facebook under Elena Marie to hear my random rantings about life and to follow what me and him do for adventures. That's me.
All right. And I am Charles Campbell. I'm a small town horror author. We have this wonderful podcast, Horror 421, the podcast. It has a Facebook page as well. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook under the same deal, Charles Campbell Author. And you can go to valleyboypublications.com and check out the books that I've written. But that's it. That concludes this episode of Horror 421, the podcast. Thank you for being a special co-host today, Dustin. Dustin, everyone, Dustin. Keep forgetting him.
We forget him all the time. Stand up and take a bow.
That's right. The newly, what do you call it? Engaged couple. Yeah, so that's awesome. Congratulations.
by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And we want to thank Yosemite In Black for being on the show today. You guys are awesome. It was good to get to know you. I hope to see you in an arena sometime soon. I'm sure Elena will hook me up.
Yeah, it
Let
was
me know where
awesome.
to go.
Thank you for having us.
But you guys rock. So keep doing what you do. And that'll do it until next episode of Horror 421, the podcast. Thank you guys.
All right. See ya.
All right.
We hope you had a horrific time, lovelies. Thank you for tuning in to Horror 421, the podcast. Be sure to like us on YouTube and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.